This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness. Delighted to be joined as always by the WBC flyweight champion of the world, Mr. Charlie Edwards. We're here in Sheffield. How you doing, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for coming down and thanks for coming to interview me and giving me that introduction. It never gets old, that's for sure.
It's quite different. We've spoken about this on camera before about kind of knowing you since fairly early on in your professional career, and it's still quite different for me to introduce you as that, so God knows what it's like for you. But no, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for having me down to the gym today. Very privileged to watch you do a little bit of sparring. How's camp gone so far?
I know it's very cliche and a lot of fighters say it, but I'm just getting better and better. The confidence is coming more and more. I'm developing with experience. I'm growing stronger. I'm just all round good, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. So I'm working on myself and growing myself each and every day, and I'm seeing it in the ring. And I'm really looking forward to putting in the performance of my life come the 31st of August and show myself to world boxing. The whole world's going to be watching. So camp's going great. I'm learning each and every day under Grant Smith. He's just turning the screw, putting the game plan into me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Mention that having kind of the eyes of the world, or certainly the boxing world, on you on the undercard of Loma-Campbell, superstar. Does that give you that little added bit of impetus in preparation, knowing that it's going to be such a highly publicised and high-profile fight?
Every fight I go into, I'm 100% focused and buzz off the occasion. But this is a special night, I believe. The 31st of August is going to be a very special night for me. I'm against a very tough game Mexican, as you can see. He knocked out Andrew Selby in his last fight. Everyone's going to be watching, especially the boxing world, because Andrew Selby's always been touted to be the unbelievable talent, which he is. And the stage has been set. Sky, pay-per-view, I think it's going out on the Zone as well, all around the world. All the boxing fans always tune in to watch Vasyl Lomachenko, especially against Luke Campbell. Two Olympians going at it. It's a major fight, and real boxing fans are going to be tuning in. They're going to be looking out for who's on the undercard, I'm sure. Me being high up the card, defending my world title, being it WBC, the Mexican title against the Mexican. It's going to be crazy, and I thrive under pressure. But to be fair, I wouldn't even say I'm that much under pressure. I know what I've got to do. I know it's a tough fight. I know what I'm capable of doing and the level that I am actually performing at. And I'm thriving to get out there. I'm getting from strength to strength because I'm going from fight to fight. I'm always been in the one to live in the gym, but I've got a real life purpose and plan and vision put in front of me now, and it's just helping me and making me develop to another level.
How dangerous a fight is this when you compare it to other fights that you've had throughout your career? Obviously the Casemiro fight, it seems like worlds away now. It doesn't even feel like I'm talking to the same person, kind of the water that's gone under the bridge since then. But you just mentioned the fact that he stopped Andrew Selby. Andrew Selby is somebody who has been touted for a long time as a really spectacular talent right through to from the amateurs upwards. Would you consider this to be your most dangerous fight to date? Every
fight's dangerous. When you step in between them ropes, one punch can change your fight at any time. Every fight's dangerous. I give my 100% and my best preparation to every fight. But it's the next step on the beautiful journey that I'm on, and I'm loving and enjoying the journey. I don't overthink things. I let my coach, Grant Smith, adapt the game plan and program it into me without me even realising. I'm in there to do my job, and that's to listen, and that's to do what I'm told. I can make it as easy as I want, and that's by sticking to game plan. I've got full faith and belief in my coach, and he's a real boxing technician, and he dissects my opponents. So I haven't got no pressure on myself. I don't look at it as a big challenge or the most feared fight to date. Yeah, he's a puncher. Everyone at world level's a puncher. Everyone asks it every fight now. Like when I was getting in with Rosales after the back of his two wins, is this the most dangerous fight? I know what I'm about. I know what I'm capable of. I'm fit, strong, I'm an experienced, I am a world level elite fighter, and I can adapt to any situation. So whatever situation gets put in front of me, I will adapt and I will prevail.
I spoke to you because that fight, the WBC final eliminator, was the same night that you won the title. Is that right? Yeah, that was it. I remember speaking to you after Andrew Selby was knocked out in Mexico. Have you gone back and watched that fight? Have you studied the fight?
I never watched the fight at all. I watched him get knocked out with a body shot because there was a little clip up. But at the beginning of camp, I watched only a round or two, forwarded it through the fight. Know what he is, know what he's about. I believe that Andrew isn't the fighter he once was through stuff outside the ring, through preparation, through being over in Mexico in high altitude 3 days before, struggling with the weight, not living the life. And that all plays a major aspect into the world of boxing that we're in. I've lived the life and haven't ever stopped living the life from the ages of 14 years of age. And all right, I failed along the way, but that isn't by me not living the life. That was because I wasn't ready. That was inexperience. Now I've gained the experience. I well and truly believe I am the number one flyweight. And this challenge against my mandatory is something that has to be done on a legacy of a great fighter. And no matter how dangerous he is on paper, I'm going to make him look undangerous come fight night.
You mentioned that having to go through mandatory challenges and kind of that's the way boxing is set up. Everybody knows that. You have spoken a lot in the last 6 months or so about wanting a unification fight. Maruti's been mentioned, who has the IBF, and obviously Dalekane, Ukrainian, who I know Sonny knows very well yourself. All being well and everything goes well on August the 31st. Is that realistic? I know the Maruti fight, you actually went out to watch him in, where was it? Malaysia, that was it, because I remember we did the interview. Is that realistic for you, hopefully by year's end, or are you not really thinking about that now?
My main focus and priority is my mandatory challenger. I'd be stupid to look past him. There was an offer put into Miflane Maruti for this fight to be happening where we are now. He turned it down. Obviously wasn't good enough what he wanted, which is understandable. So therefore we had to fight our mandatory because the WBC gives you dates to fight your mandatories. So that's where we fought our mandatories. I've seen a lot of things saying that I called for unification and I didn't want it. It wasn't that. It's politics of boxing, as we all know. But it's still a fight I want. And any fighter at flyweight I want. I believe if you're good enough, you will be the best. So why dodge anyone? We have so many fighters, don't want to mention no names, that dodge fighters and don't actually want the fights. If you're good enough, you're going to be at the top. So any fighter at flyweight, I'm world champion, I'm WBC world champion. I class myself as the number one flyweight in the world. 31st of August, I put on a punch perfect performance again and shine. After that, we sit down and we look for the other champions.
Mention any fighter at flyweight. Somebody else has just joined the ranks at flyweight. Sonny Edwards has made his return down to flyweight. He's just over there if you want to call him out. What do you make of Sonny dropping back down to flyweight and kind of, he's already spoken to me. We just did a very long interview, as you very well know. He spoke to me about his own world title aspirations down at flyweight. What do you make of him joining the division?
Oh, it's buzzing. Well, what did I say all these times ago before I become world champions? The mini Klitschko's? Well, everyone's going to have to eat humble pie when we start to do it. So I'm absolutely buzzing for him. I think you see the best of him down at flyweight. He's never been a super flyweight, never been a bantamweight. He is a legit flyweight. And he's going to shine down at flyweight. And we will take over the division.
How far away from world title level do you think he is? You're world champion, but you've also you've been unsuccessful in the past in challenging. So you're probably in as good a position, as well as being his brother and his gym mate, to make that call. How far do you think he is away from potentially challenging the people at world level?
Obviously, he has to get his rankings and get in a position, but he's world level now. Sparring. We spar. We have close competitive spars all the time. And he's world level. The things he does is special. And things I could only dream of doing. He's so naturally gifted and talented. His reactions are unbelievable. And that's why a lot of these fighters don't actually want to fight him. They want to use his name to get a bit of publicity. But when it really comes down to it, there's an excuse. I believe it's bigger than the British title. I believe it's this. I believe it's that. And it's all silliness. He's world level now. And I'm sure under Grant Smith, MTK Global, when he gets put in for his world title, he'll win it. Right, we made a mistake with me getting put in a bit too early. I believe he's ready. He believes he's ready. But now it's time for the professionals, Grant Smith and MTK Global, to make sure he's ready.
Okay, well, before I let you go, just grab your opinion on a couple of little bits and pieces. First of all, you're obviously fighting on August the 31st. What's your thoughts on the main event, Vasyl Lomachenko versus Luke-Campbell?
Everyone's writing off Luke completely, and I believe that's unfair. Luke's a very talented, tricky operator, and Lomachenko is obviously the favourite. But I believe Luke will give him very, very little, especially early on. He'll be awkward, he'll be tall like he is, he's rangy. He's boxed at elite amateur level just like Vasyl Lomachenko has. And I think Luke's in a win-win situation because he isn't under pressure because everyone's on Vasyl Lomachenko's side thinking he's going to win easy. So I think Luke's just going to go in there relaxed and shine. And I believe that early on he will make it very tricky, and I think he may even take a few rounds of him earlier on. But as a fight does develop, as Vasyl gets his distance, his range, his rhythm, I believe he takes it by unanimous points win later on. But I wouldn't write Luke off at all. And
just finally, big news in the last week or so in boxing. Anthony Joshua's rematch with Andy Ruiz heading to, or potentially heading to, depends on who you listen to Saudi Arabia. Just your thoughts on that?
Get me on the bill. No, it's good. It's good for boxing. That Saudi money's massive, so it makes boxing even bigger than it is right now. And we're in a good time for boxing, and for it going over to the Middle East with all that money, it makes the market for boxing so much bigger as well. It makes these other countries and these other promoters, they're going to have to start paying bigger money because otherwise people ain't going to want to fight over these ways. So it's all competitions, healthy competition, so it's really good that it's going over there. And it's neutral ground, which is really good to see. I know in the contracts apparently that it didn't have to be like that. They could have forced it to be in Cardiff. So you've got to give utmost respects to Anthony Joshua for putting it on neutral territory, giving respects to the champion Ruiz. And I really look forward to it. I don't believe Anthony Joshua's right mentally in his last fight, and I'm hoping that he can rebuild his mindset, which is possible because I was the same. I was down at the bottom and I had to rebuild my mindset, and I believe he's a strong enough character to do so, and I hope he takes his belts back. Listen, look at the greats. Muhammad Ali, he's lost his title and he won it back. People wrote him off, and Anthony Joshua's got that aura about him. He is a great role model, a great people's person, and a great champion. So I do believe and wish that he comes back and takes his belts back, especially for British boxing. But Ruiz is no joke. No joke. We see that, and he can box and fight, and it's going to be hard no matter what.
Okay, well, Charlie Edwards, as always, real pleasure speaking to you. Thanks very much for having us up to the gym in Sheffield today. The WBC flyweight champion of the world. Going to keep saying it. Charlie Edwards, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
And still.
And his brother Sonny.
Cheers, mate.